Welcome to the week 3 recap of the USFL. I have some very special guests here as we are ready to talk USFL as we are winding down with the end of XFL. We're jumping right back into it. It's like one continuous season. So I'm going to bring on my very first and co-host, Jamie Malloy. Hey, Jamie, how you doing, man?
Good, Evan. It's a beautiful evening right now. We're talking USFL. So how are you doing, though?
I'm actually doing pretty good, man. I finally got me some good sleep with all the things I had to take care of from last week. I got to catch up on some football. I took a little bit of notes. Um, I'm just ready for. I'm just ready to talk some ball. I got over the Cavs losing, so now I just get to watch good basketball and not be upset about it. I still get to root for the Lakers because I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm doing pretty good. But and somebody's back here booing, but yet he's got a 1-2 team here. He's got the last team in the AFC North this upcoming season, and the quarterback with the smallest hands in the league. Um, we're gonna bring in sports talking it as we speak right now. So, how do you feel about that, bud? Since you
Good
want to
intro,
boo
buddy.
LeBron
Good
James,
intro. Good intro. Good intro. What was that? What was that expression? If it's brown, flush it down, right?
yeah. Well, hey, I look at it like this, man. You guys got piss on your jerseys, so it's okay.
That's all right. It happens, right?
You guys wave around your baby towels after your kids use them.
Oh, did you?
At least, yeah. Anyway, better than slinging shit.
Mm. Well, that's what you usually try to do when you get beat by the dog. You know how it goes. But
I
now,
thought you guys had a good draft anyway. I liked your draft.
I actually liked yours too. I was kind of upset about two guys that you got, and we'll talk about that during the week. Um, but we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with our very first game, which is the New Orleans Breakers versus the Birmingham Stallions. This was an exciting game, a lot of offense. I'm going to pass it off to my boy Jamie to give us a breakdown.
Thank you very much, Evan. Wow, this game was. We talked about last week with our buddy D Gray, who played for Birmingham, and he said he takes every game with a grain of salt. They were 2-0, we're 2-0. We're just going to come in with mentality. And sorry, D, that this one didn't go well, but I'm glad you got to play in a very exciting game nonetheless. But anyway, let's get right to it. So right on the opening kickoff with the score 0-0, New Orleans kicks the ball to the Birmingham Stallions, and returner Dean Kane gets it to the 17-yard line, and he returns it 83 yards to the house for a touchdown, making it 7-0 Birmingham. Giddy up, let's ride. And on the next play, we get a New Orleans Breakers touchdown from McClade Bethel Thompson to Lee Morris for a 40-yard touchdown. And the game is tied at 7. And just like 7-Eleven used to say, oh, thank heaven, we are tied at 7. Next, Brandon Avery kicks a 35-yard field goal, and it's good for a 10-7 lead. Next, we get the running on New Orleans possession. The Hills are alive as Wes Hills scores a touchdown. And the New Orleans Breakers lead 14-10 at the end of the first quarter. Now we go to the second quarter. Aubrey kicks another field goal, and the Breakers lead by 7. Then we go to C.J. Marable for a touchdown on a pass. C.J. Marable touchdown. Houston from the T-bone formation with 3 in the backfield, 2 tight ends, and the score is tied at 17. But then NOLA, or as we call New Orleans Breakers, take a 7-point lead, 24-17, on a D. Anderson 90-yard touchdown pass from Bethel Thompson, the MVP of the Canadian Football League, the Toronto Agalocks, where he won a Gold Cup. Next, we go back to the score is Birmingham gets a touchdown pass from Alex Magoo to Jay Sternberger, and the score is tied at 24. at halftime. But wait, there's more after that. As at the beginning of the third quarter, Bethel Thompson gets a touchdown to Novus, and the New Orleans Breakers, lead 31-24. And put your fours up, everybody, because we go to the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, the Hills are alive again as Hills scores a touchdown to put them up by 14. And by them, I mean the New Orleans Breakers, everybody, to clarify. And then Magoo throws a touchdown pass to Davis to make it a 7-point game. Can the Stallions come back? It looks like the Stallions are going to come back, but Hills puts the game away with a touchdown. And your final score, the New Orleans Breakers improved to 3-0 with a 45-31 win, and the Birmingham Stallions finally lose a game and sadly go to 2-1 on the year.
So before we continue this game, dude, I want to definitely give you your flowers. Chris Berman has nothing on you. We got to get this show up and popping because the energy that you bring
Love you, Boomer.
is absolutely amazing. So like you said, this was a back and forth game. It just seemed like when one team would pull away or the other one was just figuring it out, and they just kept coming back and forth. It was absolutely a great game. I'm absolutely uh, appreciative of you bringing up D Gray because that was exactly what I was going to reference. I'm definitely going to shoot him a text on Twitter to see his thoughts and possibly pick his about how they felt in that game. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over here to the
I know. Sorry.
to Sports Talking It with that ugly jersey in the back.
What? It's a Mahler jersey.
That shit is
What am I
ugly.
talking about?
I know.
I don't have this year's yet. Anyway, just to let everyone know, D Gray has Trey Essex on his show tomorrow or tonight. I don't know when I saw the tweet, so that might be why he's not here right now. But that was just my own personal, But Trey Essex, big lineman for the Steelers. Anyway, this game.
Ooh.
Why? Anyway, this game was the high scoring. I didn't expect New Orleans to win, honestly. I just listened to Chris Berman go nuts, so I don't really know what else to say, but we could go over some stats individual, huh? Wes Hillis getting player of the week for his used performance in this one. 191, 3 touchdown day. Pretty good stuff on the ground. D Davis had a big day too for the Stallions. 5 for 123 and a touch. Jamie, you stole all the thunder, damn it.
It's okay. That's what Steelers fans do when they get jealous.
We just go 8-8 and suck.
38-3 last year, or whatever it was, the Bills and the Steelers. I was at that game, by the way.
Robinson for the Stallions, though, did have 10 tackles, 7 solo tackles. So I thought he had a good defensive day.
You know what? I'll save that question for when we talk about the Maulers. Did anybody see a player that just popped off the screen for them in this game? Any player of the game for them for as far as this week 3 matchup goes?
Well, Wes Hillis for sure.
D. Anderson too, and Wes Hills.
Okay, gentlemen, you want to battle that out on why, or you just want to go to the next game?
Were we going one player on each, Jamie? Is that what was going on there?
No, it's one player for both. It's for both New Orleans.
Wait, who'd you say?
D. Anderson. Oops, excuse me.
He only had 3 catches for 66 yards and a touch.
Yeah, but D. Anderson, he caught both huge touchdown passes from Bethel Thompson.
Boom!
No, Adams had one.
Right. Bethel threw 3 touchdowns.
No, I was
Didn't
talking
the
about
other one go to Alice or something?
I was talking about D. Anderson, the receiver for New Orleans.
Yeah, for the Breakers, he had 3 for 66, an average of 22 yards a catch for one
Yeah,
touch.
yeah, D.
And one
Anderson did.
touchdown.
Yeah,
And one touchdown.
Yeah, that's because the one was big, and then I said Wes Hills was looking like this year's Bo Scarborough before he got hurt the way he played.
Gotcha. I shared the link with you, Jamie. If you want to send it out there. Evan, I didn't. Where do you want this link sent to you?
which one are we talking
Wait,
about?
what line?
Today's the show right now.
Oh, Talking Sports by the Lake, which you can find me on Twitter. If you ever want to talk USFL, XFL, NBA, WNBA, which will be coming soon. Women's basketball will be coming soon, both amateur and pro. Looking for a co-host there. I have a couple candidates. I really want to see who will start to follow as the game starts to pick up. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and jump to the second game here, which was Memphis versus Houston. That's the Gamblers and
Memphis
Showboats.
Showboats and the Gamblers and the Houston Gamblers.
right. So the Showboats and the Gamblers, and mind you, I want to bring this up as another shot at sports talking it. I think they stole their New Jersey idea from the Memphis Showboats, but we'll get into that later. This game was another high school game.
Wait. We were going black and gold, but the showboats are navy and white.
And they look exactly the same on TV.
I can't help that.
The USFL is trying to rebrand themselves in season 2 because I think the season 1 jerseys were grosser than the ones in season 2. No offense.
What, those ones?
The ones. Yeah, the season 1 logos were.
Well, that's our original Kellers. And do you want to hear my thoughts on that one real quick?
I like the ones.
Our guy in Youngstown who owned us, Eddie DeBartolo Sr., whose son owned the Niners at the time and has a Pittsburgh team, he could not give another black and gold to Pittsburgh when his son owned the Niners, who were chasing them for 4 Super Bowls at the time. Couldn't do it.
But now you got to do it.
So you pick purple and orange?
It was Eddie DeBartolo Sr. What was he going to do?
That jersey looks like melted candy in a kid's pocket.
He couldn't give us red.
But he gave you something that looks like the Denver Broncos,
right. He could have went with anything else.
Like a pastel.
Them ugly Denver Broncos jerseys from the 80s?
What? Those are classic compared to that.
Those look like pastel.
I know, like the drive.
Denver Broncos. That's what they look like. To me.
Yeah, they look like the drive jerseys, right?
Or like Easter colors of the Denver Broncos.
I was just trying to get a reaction.
Like Russell Wilson could wear those and say "Happy Easter, Pittsburgh Muller Country. Let's ride," or something like that.
Oh man!
You know what? We're gonna go on another tangent. And I got.
Did you see?
I'm sorry, man. Did you see Russell Wilson at the damn Avalanche game?
No.
Getting into what it looked like he was getting into it with a fan who wouldn't take his phone out his face. And standing in the middle, smiling, like laughing and shit, trying to like block him out of the way or whatever. Yeah, we'll get into that after the show. But here we're talking about the Showboats and the Gamblers here. This is another high-scoring game. A battle of two teams coming in at 0-2 that honestly I didn't feel like we're going to be 0-2, but we get to see the Houston Gamblers pull it out 30-26. Sports talking it. What were your thoughts?
It seemed like a good game. I was at work. I only saw highlights. I didn't get a chance to see it all. But another good performance. Holy cow. I know the Gamblers, they like to control the ball. They're averaging over 32 minutes a game at the last couple games. 64 plays. That is a lot of time for your defense to be on the field.
Yes, it is.
But they only had 365 yards out of 64 plays. I don't know what that breaks down to, but I didn't find that to be very
5.7.
Look at that. But here's the main fact. They were 3 for 3 from the red zone, and we talk about this all the time for touchdowns. And the Boats, they were 1 for 3. Jamie, you picked this team, I think, a couple weeks ago to be the turnaround team, correct?
Yeah.
Out of the gamblers and the maulers and the boats.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the boats can score. They had a 1 yard run on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Wright's kicked a couple more field goals. Kelly to White, Kelly to McDaniel. They obviously can throw the ball into the end zone. So
it was Kelly's first pro start too in the USFL. This is before I realized that Brady White was going to get benched for Colt Kelly. So
White ended up doing. um. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. White was running back. Sorry, but yeah, I mean it wasn't bad. Kelly 21-36, 307, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and then he ran 4 for 17. So that's not a bad first start, but he still got the loss.
But I also wanted to throw in and say I think Houston is a turning point team too because they got a lot of I told you their quarterback Kenji Bahar got an invite with the Baltimore Ravens, and even though he was only at the training camp, he did learn behind Lamar Jackson. And when you watch him play, he runs read option, he runs RPO like Lamar Jackson, and he was clutch on that last drive for the touchdown and
Absolutely.
everything. So, and they're fast too, Houston. They got a lot of fast receivers, including Justin Hall and everything. So I think they could be a turnaround team too. They're my next turnaround team as well.
So I was very impressed. Actually, I was going to bring up the Bahar Ravens camp thing, but it seems like the man of the hour today is going to be Jamie Malloy, as he is just breaking all kinds of news and all kinds of stories, and we are grateful to have him here at Driving to the Top Productions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, as we continue to talk about this game, for me, I want to say that Thompson of the Gamblers stood out to me. 81 yards off of 21 carries, 2 touchdowns. Um, I really felt like ball control, as Adam alluded to, was very important. I love a guy. I'm not. When I run the ball, I'm not looking for something that is 5 yards here, 10 yards there, 20 yards touchdown. I like my 2-3 yards in a cloud of dust. I absolutely do. So to see the way that they ran the ball was exciting for me. Jamie, what did you have any other thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it was kind of cool to watch Houston play a little bit of the modern day air it out offense with a dual threat quarterback mixed in with the old school. We're going to get a fullback and run it down your throats and play a little Nick Saban, Alabama clock management, run it down your throats and play with time of possession too. I think that's going to be the key now for Houston to start winning more ball games after being 0-2. And maybe if they don't win their division, maybe they get into the West Division playoff with this format with their format. Now maybe they're a team that sneaks into the playoff now that nobody expected at the beginning of the year with that format if they continue it.
Absolutely. Jamie, before I go back to the Steelers and Maulers fan over there in the corner, um, did you have a player of the game?
Yeah, I think Kenji Bahar managed the game, and when it looked like the game was over, he did what he did. He showed that NFL experience and led the team on a game-winning drive, and I also think Justin Hall on that screen pass where it looked like he was going to get tackled, he broke all those tackles and basically took it like 50 yards to the house and used that speed and broke it all the way for a touchdown. And he had a big impact in that game too. He's a guy I think at the end of the year could get either a rookie mini camp invite or well, by then it might not be a mini camp invite, but he could get a training camp invite with a team and maybe make a roster as like a fourth string receiver, and maybe be a kick returner too. Maybe be the next Cavante Turpin, like
Absolutely,
with the Cowboys, and be a kick returner or a receiver too.
absolutely.
Team.
And that's I'll actually respond to that after I get sports talking it over here a chance on his player of the game or anybody that just stood out.
Oh, definitely Thompson and Hall. 2 touchdowns each. That's pretty standout. I was going to allude
Absolutely.
to the screen pass, but Jamie beat me to it again. I love it.
So I'm definitely going to let you go first here. Um, we're going to jump to our next game, which will be the
What about
Pittsburgh
you?
Maulers.
Who stood out to you in this game, Evan?
Oh, Bahar by far, because I kept hearing his name rumbling as far as like when the XFL was starting up and giving guys the opportunities. There was a rumor that he had turned down the XFL due to their new ownership, and to see what USFL was because it was going to be the same as it was last year. I really felt like these last couple of games he's really started to show that he can be the guy in his snaps. And like Timmy alluded to, when the game looked like it was over, he looked like he was that man. You weren't going to stop him whether it was with his feet or with his arm. He was going to stop done. So that's my standout guy, and we're going to jump to our next game, which is the Philadelphia Stars and the Pittsburgh Maulers. Boo! They finally get their first one of the season as
Yes.
they face a team in the Philadelphia Stars who came into this game 1-1 and were in the championship game last year. Um, although I give the state of Pennsylvania and specifically the Pittsburgh region a hard time, I've grown a fan of a couple guys on the Maulers team, especially guys like Boogie Roberts and some other people that you know what I'm not even going to say their name because we might have a surprise for you guys later on. Um, but for me, um, I absolutely agree with Jamie and what we talked about last week as far as the Maulers being a standout or a rebound team that could really turn it around. I feel like these guys have a really good chance this year. Oh my goodness, it hurts as I say this, but they have a really good chance to make a run in this league this year. I really like the way that their defense looks, and I'm going to pass it off to the man of the hour, Sports Talking, as he talks about his Pittsburgh Maulers.
Reuben Foster, standout player of the week. 11 tackles, 5 solos, an interception, 2 pass deflections. Huge week for him. Boogie Roberts, big fumble recovery. Evan, I know you're hearing a lot about him up there. I think on the Fan, right?
He's been on the Fan and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
He's also been on Sports Talking It, Hammer Time Pit.
Yeah, and we're going to try and get him on here too.
I'll message him later. We'll see what's up. But yeah, I enjoyed seeing a win. It was good. The Eli Walker interception, that ball was so far overthrown. It was just center field. Willie Mays Hayes kind of catch on it. I was impressed. I'm ready to see the trends go upwards now. 7-3, hopefully still. I think they can do it. Troy Williams, not a huge day. 96 and a touch. But he only threw 18 passes, 10 for 18. The running game needs work. It's not a Pittsburgh running game. I mean, our leading rusher was Troy Williams, was 65. Groshek was 15 rushes for 40 yards, which is not normal. Even Madre London was 8 for 30. I don't know if the running game needs some help. But they got the win, and that's all that matters. And maybe the 0 for 2 in the red zone, they held the Stars. That was huge. But Pittsburgh's always known for defense. We did have 2 interceptions, 0 for 2 in the red zone for them. Very, very, very good win. Got to start somewhere.
So before I pass it on to you, Jamie, I had a question as my ring light keeps freaking out over here. Did you guys play the Generals last week? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did play the Generals, and that was a game where it was 3-3 the whole way, and then they gave up 17 unanswered points after that to lose 20-3.
I saw a different clip of a play where Reuben Foster tried to meet their running back in the hole, and it just did not work. So, as a Browns fan, I want to send my prayers out to Reuben Foster and his wrist. I hope he's okay. I
Mhm.
don't know if those two injuries correlate with each other, but I hope he's all right. They talked
And
about
so,
that with Boogie Roberts on TV today. But yeah, Jamie, I just want to put that out there as he brought up the defense. What were your thoughts on the game?
it was a full, consistent team effort. I finally saw a team that was consistent. They finally got their first offensive touchdown. But what I noticed was at the end of the half, when their play call looked suspicious, Coach Horton said that he was going to start making it simple. And the one thing I noticed is since Troy Williams isn't really a guy that can't really throw the ball deep, the offensive coordinators started going to the old Tom Brady Patriots dig and dunk offense, that won in the 6 Super Bowls. And they started marching down the field with it because they kept throwing those short passes to like Isaiah Henney. They got a first down with it, 5 yards. Then they kind of went to Bailey Gauthier, first down, 6 yards. Not pretty, but they were converting, and so Troy Williams was able to get the ball quick out of his hands. So they were marching down the field, and it only led to a field goal. But I was thinking maybe this could be their offense, um, the rest of their identity for the end of the year, and maybe it could be something with it because it's a system that it works, and the Patriots won a lot of games and Super Bowls with it. Maybe the Maulers could use it with a quarterback that doesn't have an arm, but it's effective because you're able to just throw the ball in chunks and gain 5 to 10 yards consistently, move the ball. If you score with it, it works, and it's a championship style
What about them
offense.
kicking? What about them
I would,
picking up
I
Blewett
would, I would go with
at
it
the
at the
last
end of the
minute?
yeah, and that kick return by Isaiah Henney was big too. Their special teams are also good too. It seems like their defense and their special teams are also have been the highlight of their uh of their season so far.
Well, didn't they pick up
Absolutely.
Blewett right at the beginning of the week?
Yeah, the 5 field goals. You could
Yeah,
also
five
say he was
five, but he
playing of the
missed the
week.
extra points.
I know. But I still give him special teams player of the week for all
He
those
was
field
special
goals.
teams player of the week. He
Mhm.
was. He got named special teams player of the week.
He did.
So and I wanted to give a shout out to Terzino, who is leading the league right now after 3 weeks with 29 tackles.
Mhm.
So that's huge.
But Adam, what did you think of them kind of going with that Tom Brady style offense in the beginning of the third, that dink and dunk offense? Because it was working. Because remember, Troy Williams was getting the ball quick out of his hands, and like that worked with Brady and the Patriots. You saw him do it, right?
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
But it's effective though when you got a quarterback like that can't throw the ball deep, but he's got a quick release like that.
I know the gate. I know the gate. The Billy touchdown, the 4 yard out. That was a hell of a catch in that end zone.
But I say, do you think that like could we should I think we should start doing that more often towards the end of the year, that little dig and dunk quick offense because it's
Yeah, but once teams pick up on it, is they gonna be able to throw it deep. I
but
mean,
I'm saying it didn't work for the Patriots. They won all those Super Bowls with it though.
we'll see
Remember?
what happens. I mean, you know, I've seen things work in the beginning, and then once teams figure it out, they stop them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all about the game of adjustments. And
They
speaking of
couldn't win New
adjustments,
England though. It worked all the time.
Well, that's Tom Brady,
yeah, you got
Mhm.
Tom Brady, Gronk, Aaron Hernandez, Julian Edelman
Julian Edelman, Troy
messing
Right.
up
Brown.
there.
My point
Yeah,
is Brady had a quick release and it works.
Brady's release
Troy,
was 2.3 seconds or something
Troy
like that. It was
Williams does
crazy.
too. Did you notice he was able to get rid of the ball fast with his hands though?
Yeah,
Well, that's just
absolutely.
Brady. He's that talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too bad he went to the University of Michigan. But anyway, about transitioning and pivots, I wanted to give a shout out to.
Talk about late round studs, huh?
Yeah, I hope we found one this year. But I wanted to give a shout out to former Cleveland Brown. That, I'm actually kind of happy to see that he's still playing and trying to figure out and chase his dream. And Corey Coleman with 8 receptions out of 12 targets for 86 yards and a touchdown with a long of 24 in his longest play. It was pretty good to see him out there and to do his thing again. Shout out to Reggie Ragland and to the Shark Dog, Scooby Wright, for all
Shark
for all
Dog.
for all being part of the Cleveland Brown Dog Nation, and I'm wishing all of you guys luck. Um, does anybody else have any standouts or shout outs before we go to our final game?
I have a question. Who's Reggie Ragland still? Who's Reggie Ragland playing for? Because I know he got drafted by the Bills originally.
Well, we picked him up, I think it was the last 5 weeks of the regular season in the NFL, and now he's with the Maulers.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, he's with the Maulers now. When did we pick him up, Adam?
I want to say he started the season,
He was a free agent signing over the. Hey, no.
Hey, pretty mama.
That's going to be a great addition
go.
to an already great defense, to one of the best defenses in the XFL. They had him.
Yeah, the sad
part. Did he have any? Evan, do you have the stats up there real quick on your computer? Did he do anything?
As far as yesterday or this past weekend, I don't see him on the sheet, but I know, like I said, when they played the Generals last week, I saw that play where he tried to meet a dude in a hole and bounced off like a true toy with your puppy there.
That running back's insane though, Darius Victor.
Yeah, so that's why I was shouting him out earlier about health, but I didn't see him here. But yeah, he's played the last 2 weeks with the Maulers.
Oh, you're thinking of Reuben Foster, not Reggie Ragland.
Am I? I could have sworn they were talking about him this morning. Either way, I want to wish him some
beast, dude. Reuben Foster's gonna get repicked back up.
We could use him here if he can play the pass. We could use him here.
He did have an interception and 2 pass deflections.
Well, hey, if he can do that for 14 games, that's all I need from you. I don't even need the whole season. Just 14 games and 2 in the playoffs. Everybody else can make plays. Just show up.
Right.
But we're going to go ahead and jump into our final game here with the Generals and the Panthers playing
there's
in
one more thing too. Like, this was the first USFL game in Ford Field with the Maulers and the Stars.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to allude to. So I'm glad that you jumped in there. That this was the first home game in Detroit.
We already went over the first game at Ford Field. So anyway, Go ahead, Ed.
So this was another great game, and I'm going to hand it over to the man of the hour, Jamie Malloy, to give us his early breakdown on this game.
All right, so here we go. We're at Detroit. We're at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. A little bit after the Maulers picked up their first win at this historic NFL field over the Philadelphia Stars. We're going to go over to the New Jersey Generals and the Michigan Panthers. So here we go, folks. Let's get it started in here. Anyway, let's start out. We go in the first quarter. New Jersey 45-yard field goal is good. New Jersey leads 3-0. And that's Michigan. Michigan's field goal is good. Michigan leads 3-0. And here we go. New Jersey gets a big 45-yard touchdown screen pass from DeAndre Johnson to Darius Victor. And remember, folks, Darius Victor's good at running, but he's also good at reminding people that thick thighs save lives as New Jersey leads 7-3. On the next possession, DeAndre Johnson, Mr. 4-3-7, 40-yard dash at quarterback, runs a quarterback misdirection, touchdown run. And the Generals lead 14-3. Then again, thick thighs save lives Victor runs a 55-yard touchdown run. Generals lead 21-3 in the second quarter. Then Carson Strong filling in for Josh Love is Love for one play. Touchdown pass to Trey. All I do is Quinn, no matter what. And at half, and the touchdown is good. And at halftime, the Generals lead 21-10. In the third quarter, field goal is good, and the Generals lead by 8. Heading into the fourth and final quarter, throw the fours up, everybody. Alonzo scoring more, gets a 17-yard pass from 437 Johnson. And that would be the end of the game as the 1-1 New Jersey Generals come into Ford Field and stun the Michigan Panthers in their first game ever at Ford Field in Detroit, 28-13. The New Jersey Generals go to 2-1, while Michigan falls to 2-1. And after the locker room, there was an Instagram video of head coach Mike Riley talking about how they always win at Ford Field in Detroit, saying that was a big win. And afterwards, him and the team led a huge shout out in Detroit 6 times by going hip hip hooray, 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 hip hip hooray.
Well, thank you for all the energy there, Jamie. Passing that one over to Sports Talking It there. He doesn't know how to follow that to follow up.
Yeah,
man.
I was trying. If Jamie, if you had been looking, I was trying to stop you because Victor had 86 yards and 2 touchdowns into the middle of the second quarter. I thought you would have read that stat off there. Here's the funny thing: New Jersey only had the ball for 24 minutes and put up 377 yards. Michigan had the ball for 35 minutes almost and only had 265 yards total offense.
I bet you they wish again that they could play that game over.
They had 65 plays to New Jersey's 43.
I mean, hey, they play in the state of Michigan. You know, they look for do-overs and new opportunities because they don't always show up when it's time.
They show up when it's against Ohio State, right?
Hey,
this year they did.
Yeah, they may have, but here's the thing: the real dogs made it to the playoffs, and that's what matters. Anyway, as we go through this game, like you guys talked about, there was a difference in time of possession when it came to the Panthers and the Generals. But the thing that stood out to me was yards per play. It felt like once the Panthers scored early on in the game, it just kind of didn't work out for them. I think for me, my standout player before I pass this over to Sports Talking It again because I kind of cut him off. I'm gonna throw you a lob here. Although they lost, I love the way that Love played at quarterback. So why don't you take that as a soft lob and finish us out?
We like, I guess 10 to 30, 15 to 31, 101 in a pick. That's not very good stats.
I mean, it's not, but you know.
But Love was my quarter. I loved him last year when he played for the Maulers. I called him Phillip Rivers 2.0. I really like this kid. I want him to succeed.
And that's what I was
this kid.
And that's what I was trying to allude to because I want to bring up the question to both of you. Do you feel like this was just a bad game, or is this something that's going to be a trend where he starts to get figured out?
Well, we were just talking about defenses figuring out the offense, and Jamie was alluding to quick strike in the last game, and obviously there's figuring out Love already. So I mean, there's too much video out there to be really able to figure it out really quick now.
Yeah, but
I think they're figuring him out because he's a pocket passer, and you need to be you got to be a dual threat quarterback where you got to be able to pass and throw. At least Troy Williams is a dual threat where he can run too. So that's why.
Yeah, it's not. It's really. We can even reference the NFL draft this year that you're really starting to see that the mobile quarterback is what is now. Um, I'm not
So you
surprised.
saying Michael Vick? You saying Michael Vick, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham are all ahead of their time?
Yeah, absolutely. I would even consider Dante Culpepper, Donovan McNabb, and I hate that I'm saying this. Even an early on Ben Roethlisberger, before he ate too many burgers. Um,
I thought you were going to go. I thought
quarterback.
you were going to go with Jamarcus Russell.
Hey,
What happened to him? What happened to him? He was so good at LSU, and then he goes on.
honestly,
He had a cannon arm, but he didn't have the football IQ. That's why.
I would say go watch his interview on with I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall, and it talks a lot about that. But to speak on the idea that a lot of we're going to see a lot of change in spring league this year and next year, especially next year for both leagues, as we're going to see the mobile quarterback truly take over. And we're going to be able to see how that truly translate in football as we continue to watch. I think something that we can look forward to as far as the USFL goes as the season goes on. Here's a prediction, and I want you guys to hold me accountable at the end of the regular season. 6 out of the 8 teams will be starting a mobile quarterback by the end of the week, by the end of the year, as their multiple game starter. Just because of the transitions and the things that we're seeing. Because if you look at the Panthers 2-0, it looked like they were getting in a groove and weren't going to be stopped, and then they get here and it just wasn't working.
Anthony Richardson's going to be one of them, obviously, with the Colts, the mobile quarterback.
What's up, Chris? Welcome back.
What's up, Chris? I haven't heard from you in a while. I know he messaged me the other day, and I forgot to message him back. He does California Angels, Los Angeles Angels, big Trout fan, big Ohtani fan. What's
Hey,
up, Chris? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Chris, man, can you answer me and do me a favor? What do we have to send you guys to get Otani in Cleveland?
We'll see if he answers.
Hopefully he does. He can find me here on the show before we end, or he can get me at Talking Sports by the Lake. But yeah, was there any player of the game before we share where we can be found at on Twitter and all our other social medias?
Darius Victor and Damari Johnson too.
I was definitely going to go with Victor. What about you, Adam?
Those are my 2 players of the game. I'd go Johnson better. 10 of 15, 182 touchdowns. I bet like we said, they only had the ball for 24 minutes. So I mean, when they had the ball, they were successful. I bet then again, Johnson did hit on some quick strikes that just happened to go to the house. 72-yard bomb to Moore, and then the screen pass to Victor. So I mean, he hit for 2 long strikes, and that was all they needed.
That's a guy that is shocking to me that hasn't been looked by any NFL teams yet. I mean, he's got the accuracy in the arm, and he's a 4.37. That's probably one of the fastest times by a quarterback ever. And like, he hasn't gotten any NFL looks yet. Probably after this year he will, but
Well, we'll have to see, and like I made my prediction here. I think that the mobile quarterback's going to take over this
6
league.
of 8, right?
6 of 8, yes.
But I wrote it down.
Okay.
It down.
So, Jamie, tell everybody where they can find you before we head out.
This is my favorite part of the show, other than the talking about everything and stuff. And thank you, Evan. So anyway, you guys can find me on my Twitter account, Jamie Malloy at DJ Dog Tags. Go follow me there. I'm constantly growing my followers every single day. And if you could do that, you could keep following me. It would be very appreciative for me, my brand, and the channel as well. And you can also go to defianttakesfootball.com, as I am a football exclusive writer for Syracuse Orange College, the Buffalo Bills of the NFL, and both the XFL and USFL spring leagues. And if you could do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Sports Talking It.
Exactly where you find me at Sports Talking It, at Driving to the Top. Yeah, you can hit me up one of those two. I also follow every page. So, we do our thing around here. We're building, we're driving, we're going.
Absolutely, man. There's multiple ways to the top, but I promise you, we're all going to get to the top together over here at Driving
There's
to
no
the
top. We
Productions.
just keep going, baby.
Hey, well, absolutely. There is no more road, but you can find me at Brogdon Evan as my personal Twitter page where I talk sports and talk about life. You can find me at Talking Sports by the Lake, where I host a podcast talking about the Cavs, the Browns, and soon to I'm gonna try and figure it out here with Sports Talking and about talking baseball. We kind of co-host that part together. You can also find me on XFL Football 2023, or excuse me, XFL Football 23, where I cover the XFL and just talk ball. I'll be doing some things and putting some videos together as far as XFL players who get picked up after the season goes, after the championship is over. But again, you can find me all the way there, and you can find us on YouTube with all of our shows and all of our co-hosts and other hosts of their content at Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'll never let you down. We cover absolutely everything and everywhere. Um, as rude as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan is, just over there sniffling and giggling.
I forgot to mention the YouTube channel.
And also, by the way, for all the gamers out here, we will be coming soon with a Twitch channel as well. That will
Well,
be
we have Twitch. We have it already. It's running right now. We have someone's watching it from a Twitch, but they didn't say anything.
well. We appreciate you over there on Twitch. We're
I
having
do. I appreciate
difficulties
Twitch very much.
with Twitch, but we will be bringing a gaming channel as well over to Twitch because here at Driving to the Top, there are no limits. Just the gas pedal. So,
Why can't I join that?
thank you
I'll be
for
excited.
coming.
I'll be excited to see how that runs.
Couldn't I join that?
Absolutely. So, thank you for joining us. Peace out, Adam. Peace out, Jamie. There we go. Peace out to everybody, and we will see you later on.
Thursday.
See you
Thursday
guys.
night. See ya.